Yo, what's good? Big Z here. So this is what the drum mix in my track sounds like right now. And here's what it sounds like after whatever we do in this video. I always start mixes with drums because they're the backbone of an electronic track. It's a good thing to really build the rest of the mix off of. So I have 4 different reference tracks from famous artists to prove my point in this video. We've got a track from Medusa, from Chris Lake, from Joel Corry and David Guetta, and from Fisher. And I like to move reference tracks to around -10 decibels. That way it leaves enough headroom for you while you're mixing. Now these are all extended mixes, so I've just looped the parts where the drums play. So I've got this reference plugin on my master bus. Let's open an EQ after the reference plugin so we can analyze what's going on. As I cycle through each of these 4 tracks, you'll notice something in the EQ. In all these tracks, we have the low end of the kick peaking between these 2 lines. Then we have the top end of the hi-hat peaking around this line in each track. Then the area around 800 to like 4000 hertz is a big part of where the clap lives in a mix. And you can see in each track the clap is peaking around here. So what do we do with this information? Well, it's not rocket science. We're just going to copy these guidelines to start the drum mix for our own track. So first I'm going to zero out all the drums, turning them all the way down. And now I'll bring up that EQ on the master channel, and we can start with the main drums like the kick, clap, and hats and mix those to the levels that we talked about. So these areas that I'm trying to mix to completely depend on what EQ you're using and how loud your reference tracks are. But I like using FabFilter's EQ just because it's so visual. Now I know some haters out there in the comments will say this is terrible advice, you're just forcing all music to sound the same. Well, here's what I have to say to you. Most parts of making music are creative. There's no right or wrong way to do anything. But the tonal balance of drums isn't really one of those things. If someone is listening to music on Spotify, they're getting used to a nice frequency balance in that music that the best mixing engineers in the world have perfected over the years. If your track comes on next and the drum balance is all over the place, it's gonna sound bad. Now this totally depends on what genre of music you make, and you can use different references for this, but it's always good to have a starting point for what the overall tonal balance should be. And you can still be as creative as you want, adding weird sounds and samples and layers to your drum mix, but the main drums should be nice and balanced. So let's mix in the rest of the drums I have here. So this is something I do more on feel than anything else. If the mix is making you bop your head and jam to it, then you're doing a good job. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. What do you get? Oh,